The ciliary muscle, ɛsɪli.ɛəri, is a ring of smooth muscle in the eye's middle layer that controls accommodation for viewing objects at varying distances and regulates the flow of aqueous humour into Schlemm's canal. It changes the shape of the lens within the eye, not the size of the pupil, which is carried out by the sphincter pupillae muscle and dilator pupillae. Structure. Development. The ciliary muscle develops from the mesenchyme within the choroid and is considered a cranial neural crest derivative. Innervation. The ciliary muscle receives only parasympathetic fibers from the short ciliary nerves that arise from the ciliary ganglion. These postganglionic fibers are part of cranial nerve V. Presynaptic parasympathetic signals that originate in the Edinger-Westphal nucleus are carried by cranial nerve 3 and travel through the ciliary ganglion. Parasympathetic activation of the M3 muscarinic receptors causes ciliary muscle contraction. The effect of contraction is to decrease the diameter of the ring of ciliary muscle. The zonule fibers relax and the lens becomes more spherical, increasing its power to refract light for near vision. The parasympathetic tone is dominant when a higher degree of accommodation of the lens is required, such as reading a book. Function. Accommodation. The ciliary fibers have circular, longitudinal and radial orientations. According to Hermann von Helmholtz's theory, the circular ciliary muscle fibers affect zonular fibers in the eye, enabling changes in lens shape for light focusing. When the ciliary muscle contracts, it pulls itself forward and moves the frontal region toward the axis of the eye. This releases the tension on the lens caused by the zonular fibers. This release of tension of the zonular fibers causes the lens to become more spherical, adapting to short-range focus. Conversely, relaxation of the ciliary muscle causes the zonular fibers to become taut, flattening the lens, increasing the focal distance, increasing long-range focus. Although Helmholtz's theory has been widely accepted since 1855, its mechanism still remains controversial. Alternative theories of accommodation have been proposed by others, including L. Johnson, M. Cherning, and Ronald A. Shacker. Trabecular meshwork, pore size, contraction and relaxation of the longitudinal fibers, which insert into the trabecular meshwork in the anterior chamber of the eye, cause an increase and decrease in the meshwork pore size, respectively, facilitating and impeding aqueous humour flow into the canal of Schlemm. Clinical significance. Glaucoma. Open-angle glaucoma and closed-angle glaucoma may be treated by muscarinic receptor agonists, which cause rapid meiosis and contraction of the ciliary muscles, opening the trabecular meshwork, facilitating drainage of the aqueous humour into the canal of Schlemm and ultimately decreasing intraocular pressure. History. Etymology. The word ciliary had its origins around 1685 to 1695. The term cilia originated a few years later in 1705 to 1715, and is the Neo-Latin plural of cilium, meaning eyelash. In Latin, cilia means upper eyelid and is perhaps a back formation from supercilium, meaning eyebrow. The suffix -ary originally occurred in loanwords from Middle English, Old French, and Latin. It can generally mean pertaining to, connected with, contributing to, and for the purpose of. Taken together, ʻsɪli.ɛəri pertains to various anatomical structures in and around the eye, namely the ciliary body and annular suspension of the lens of the eye.